channel. Welcome to another reading vlog, guys. As you can tell by this title, we are finally reading the Housemaid series by Frieda McFadden. I've had these books on my TBR for a couple months now. I bought book 3, but I haven't gotten into it, but I felt like, why not do it in the spookiest month of them all, October. So I'm going to be reading book 1 to start this off. The goal is for us to get through all 3 of these books and see if they're as good as people have hyped them up to be. Now, I've only read one Frieda McFadden book. It's called The Locked Door, and it was cool. I liked it. It gave a little thrill, gave a little surprise. So we're going to see, does the Housemaid give us what we want? Now, I do know from Frieda's books, they do read really quickly. So I think we'll be able to get through this one pretty fast, like her other one, because that is one of the big things I've always heard people say. You can get into them and you can read them fast. So we'll see if the Housemaid series is that. So the first one here, I am going to read the back of the book. It is the first book, so of course it's not going to give away too much, but just to let you know, if you're reading along with me and you don't read as fast as the video is going, or you've read maybe one of the books, you haven't read the second one, or you don't have it yet, you might want to skip some of this. I do try not to spoil the book, but of course when you're talking about things in the book, in like a reading vlog kind of way, you kind of do tell what's happening. And then of course I read the backs of the books when I start the second book, or at least when I finish it. So if you haven't read the first one, that could kind of give some things away. Like, I have not yet read the back of books 2 and 3, but if you don't want anything to be spoiled, then you may not want to watch this if you're not reading it with me, or just listen to the cues when I say skip this part. So let's go ahead and get started with the back. Okay, so the back of this one says, "Welcome to the family." Nina Winchester says as I shake her elegant manicured hand. I smile politely, gazing around the marble hallway. Working here is my last chance to start fresh. I can pretend to be whoever I like, but I'll soon learn that the Winchester's secrets are far more dangerous than my own. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I pick up their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband, y'all know I thought Nina was a child. It's a grown-up acting crazy. Okay, and now her husband Andrew seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. It's given Lifetime vibes. It really is. I try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like. But she soon finds out, and by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. So it's definitely given Lifetime when we read the back, but we're going to get into the Housemaid and see what we think. Okay, so I am about 60 pages in at this point. Yeah, 58 pages in, 10 chapters in. Good point. Short chapters. I love a book with short chapters. The book does start off with excitement, like there are things happening that make you go with the character Millie, who just took the job. I was looking to see if they said her name on the back, but her name is Millie. She takes a job with the Winchester family, and basically as soon as she starts, you know how you're watching those movies and the things happen and it's like, get out. But do the people ever get out? No, they don't. So she's basically dealing with this, her boss. We'll say that. And her boss is a little quirky. And the child is a little bit of a brat. So we're going to say those 2 things. That is what's happening right now. But nothing super major except for, you know, the boss being Nina Winchester. She is married, but the boss be the one that's weird. She's already gotten the signals to leave. Like, several things have happened. But there is something specific about her that makes her stay. So I won't tell you what that is because I feel like, you know, I don't give too much away. But I see why. But at the same time, well, I don't know, because I've never been in that situation. So I can't even say I don't blame her. But child, some things you just gotta let go and you gotta figure out another way. But that's where we are right now. Nothing super like thrilling has happened. It's just really a lot of quirkiness. But the fact that the book does move very quickly is good. I will say the book, I want to say, goes through different perspectives. And I only say that because the first chapter starts with like chapter 1, Millie, as if it's going to like go back and forth. But as I'm flipping through, I don't see perspective changes. So I don't know. It might be, well into the book before, how sometimes it's like the first half of the book, you're like hearing everything from, and this is divided into different parts. So that part I did miss. This is part 1. So maybe, and this is part 1, 3 months before how the book starts. So the book does start out with a major thing having occurred, but you just know that the thing occurred. But it is told in 3 parts. So maybe each part is told from a different person's perspective. Let's see, because part 2, and then, Nina. So part 2 sounds like it's probably told by the perspective of Nina in its entirety, just because, like I said, flipping through the first part, I didn't see it change perspective. And this, this seems to be how this book is. And part 2 starts like on page 192. So the first like almost 400 pages, that didn't even make sense. The first like 200 pages is told from one person's perspective. And then as I look ahead, it seems like part 3 is more of a back and forth. So that's the structure of the book. I'm going to keep reading because I am into it. Just because it's very quick each chapter, and Nina kind of, like I said, she quirky. So I am definitely into it, and I'll check in and see how far I get how far I get today. So yeah, let's just got to the 100 page mark, and I'm actually enjoying this book. I must say I enjoy this one a lot better than I did The Locked Door, only because like The Locked Door read exactly like another book. And I talk about all that in another vlog, but I'm actually really enjoying The Housemaid, and I think I'm enjoying the fact that this lady is crazy. Like, Nina is doing a lot. And like I said, I get why Millie is sticking it in, but what just happened in chapter 18, I'm sorry, that little bit of money I had, I would have had to take that money from those checks, because she's already been there for probably like 2 months at this point. And she had said that the amount of money she was making was like a lot, because she was surprised when she saw it. So at this point, I'm thinking if you thought that was more than you were going to make, honey, you might need to go and find yourself a weekly stay and find yourself another job. And I get, don't quit your job until you find another job, but you just need to do something, because this is just too much. And one thing that bothers me is like when people hear like commotion going on, if you really want to appear like, because she truly did, like, okay, she wants to know what is going on and she's truly concerned, and anybody I think would be concerned, but don't look like you snooping when you always getting caught and stuff. Like, my thing, I do not understand the people that are always getting caught, who always try to be secretive. Just run up in there and be like, hold on, what's going on? So you don't look crazy. But this is, I feel like I really want to get to part 2, but that's like another 94 pages. And like I said, part 2 pretty much starts at the 200 page mark. And that's when we start getting Nina's perspective of everything. So I'm wondering if, because I don't completely know what's going to happen. And like I said, I have books 2 and 3, but I have not read the backs of those books. So I don't know. You know, when you read the second installment, you find things out from like the first one. So that's why I didn't want to read the backs of those. But I'm wondering what happened, because like I re-skimmed like the prologue, because I thought I would be like, oh, well, I know what went down. But then I realized they didn't use names. So now I'm like, okay, I know it's a woman talking to the like police, but I don't know which woman is talking to the police. So I'm just really excited to get to part 2. So I might have to chug down these 94 pages. Like I feel like I got to page 100 pretty quickly. Like I read the first 50 pages probably like in an hour or so, and then I pretty much read like the next 50 or so in like another hour. So like I collectively have probably been reading the book for like 2 hours, no more than 2.5 hours. I do read slow. So if y'all are like 100 pages and it took 2.5 hours, I'm sorry. I don't read 60 pages in an hour. I wish I was that fast. But I'm not. So I read slow. So for me, getting this far in this book is pretty good. It just moves so fast. And another thing, like I said, chapters, like these chapters are like 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, and books like that I do read faster than other books. So I'm really hoping I can get to part 2 and really get into it. It's not super late. I think it's like 8 o'clock. I do need to be in my bed by 11. I also need to stretch, a 20-minute stretch. So that means I have like 2 hours and 40 minutes to read. I need to get into it because I really want to get at least into part 2. So I'm actually excited about Housemaids. Like, and I heard this one was good. I have heard like the other 2 from basically, and I don't watch like a lot of like Booktober people. So the one person that I watch, and we typically have like a lot of books on the same on our TBR. She wasn't that thrilled about book 3. I think she thought book 2 was okay. But book 1 is doing it for me. So I'm interested. I can see how people would get hooked on the series. So
finish the next chapter.
Millie better. I don't understand why people be in situations where you already dealing with somebody who's unhinged and you sit there and do something that's gonna get yourself in trouble. Because now this whole book, nothing this lady was doing was warranted. But then you want to go ahead and have feelings and try to be consoling. And I don't know what's going to happen. Because they didn't give us much in this chapter. But all I'm saying, if Millie puts herself in that position, I don't know if I can feel sorry for her. Because we not going to do that when you already know this other lady is unhinged. That's all I have to say.
So y'all, I made it to part 2.
And I'm going to say I knew it. I knew what was going to happen. First of all, I felt like I clocked what was going to happen because I feel like this is always the case. You think one person is a little nutty, but it turns out somebody else is a little nutty. Number 2, how did you not know the situation? Like when you received that in the beginning, I was like, I bet this is going to come back up in the end. I don't want to say too much right now because I kind of want to see how the book ends. Oh my God, I don't want to spoil too much. Y'all, okay. If you haven't read the book, stop watching. Because, first of all, if this lady gives you a phone, you didn't really think about the fact that she might be tracking you. Even if that wasn't her initial plan, after she started acting a little cuckoo and you was left alone with that man, you didn't think to say, oh, she might track me. And then after the situation happens, when she has been asked to leave the freaking house, which my thing is, why would you even want to be with a dude after he kicks his wife out? And you're just like, oh, he wants us to be permanent. He wants us to be together. Like, how dumb are you? How stupid are you? Especially when there is someone literally telling you to get the frick out of the damn house because you ain't safe. Like, I don't feel sorry for her. I used to feel sorry for Millie. I don't really feel sorry for her. Whatever happens to Millie, I feel like she deserves it. And I think the story has twisted, and I know how it's going to twist because this is a damn Lifetime movie. This is exactly what it is. And I'm going to try to keep reading some more because I can't stop because it is really good. I will say this book, I can see it. I can see why people like this because it's like a Lifetime movie and a good Lifetime movie. So I'm for it. I definitely like this one better than The Locked Door. Probably because it was very similar to another story. I have heard that this is also similar to like the next Mrs. Parrish or Mrs. Parrish or something like that. But I haven't read that. So I feel like if it is similar, because I have never read that, I don't feel the same way. Like I'm very interested in this book. But because I had read, and the book is called, crap, I can't even think of the book. It's right in front of my face. I know it's got to be on this side of my bookshelf. But anyway, because I had read the book that's very similar to A Flicker in the Dark, reading the book, I was like, like I was finding the similarities. But I like this one, child. This is a Lifetime movie that I have seen many times before, but I'm here for it.
All right, y'all, continue. I have officially finished book 1 of, okay, I'm sitting in my car, so I'm trying to, hopefully the lighting is not crap, but I finished The Housemaids, and I get it. I get why everybody was so gaga over this series, because the book was actually very, very good. So one, the mom, cold freaking blooded. Literally, I did not expect to hear or read, but hear in that voice what I heard at the end of the book. Like, I was so surprised. I did not see the twist coming. How the book turned out, completely did not expect any of that. I will say the one thing about the book that I thought was like a left field is a situation with the cop, the detective that's on the scene in the beginning, and then at the end I was like, that seems a little far-fetched, but I feel like they definitely needed that to like tie in and like, we still here, tie in and finish up the book. But I really did like it. The twist was amazing. Didn't see that coming. Like, when I got to part 2, I was like I saw the thing that happened to the person happening, because I was like, but I didn't think like what we learned in part 2 was like the thing. I'm trying not to give it away for y'all who ain't read it, but here's my thing. I feel like I kind of understand why people say they are not bigger fans of 2 and 3, or at least the people that I watch. And because the way book 2 is set up, it's almost like, how many times would that actually work? Like, the character that we are going to see again, how would that actually work, and like for it to be interesting in multiple books? But we gonna find out. So this is book 2. For those of you who have not read it, I'm about to read the back. If you're like me, I have not read the backs of books 2 and 3, because sometimes if you're reading in a series, it gives away something that happened. So maybe tune this out if you don't want to know. Don't go in the guest bedroom. A shadow falls on Douglas Garrett's face as he touches the door with his fingertips. My wife, she's very ill. As he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors. But I can't risk losing this job, not if I want to keep my darkest secret safe. And are we talking about the secret of what you did in the last one? I don't know. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garretts miraculously give me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work it for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Miss Garrett or seen inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. And one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Miss Garrett while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrett has done wrong. He is going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. Okay, so just by reading that, yes, it is definitely going to build, and that's kind of like who she has come to be at this point. But we're gonna see how good and twisty it is. We have an entire series, so we have to get through it. Now, when I'm looking at this one, just flipping through, because it's literally my first time flipping through, chapters, super short. One thing I love, it doesn't look like it's told in different perspectives. So she has changed that up. So I'm interested to get into it. The other one I read in pretty much 2 days. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get through this one quickly, and I'll just be checking it. All right, so it has been a couple of days since I checked in, because no lie, it took me a little bit to get into this one. I'm going to say this book does not need to be like 350 pages. It could have been 250 pages because I feel like this one moved incredibly slow, incredibly repetitive, and I just literally I was just like, just get to the point. But when the twist happened, I personally didn't see it coming. And I like it. This is definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I was trying to figure out how is she going to continue to make this interesting, and I actually liked the book once the twist happened. However, I had to read 200 pages to really get to the action. So we'll say a little bit before 200 where stuff starts to go down. So what, maybe 180, 185? Before stuff starts to go down. So I'm like, this book really, like I said, it could have been 250 pages. And I think probably that's why a lot of people aren't that, like, big on the second one. Or maybe, I can't say a lot of people, because I'm only going by, like, the people I watch. But maybe, or the that has talked about it. So maybe that's why. Now, for those who have not read book 1, stop listening for a little bit. First of all, I'm happy Enzo is back. I knew he had to be coming back. Like, when I read he was out of, like, gone, I was like, no, I like him. And then I was like, he's got to be coming back, Here's the thing, Billy is dumb. Because first of all, this man did nothing wrong. He didn't abandon you. He didn't leave you. He left to take care of his mother. Like, how selfish can you freaking be? You should be happy this man actually gives a crap about his mom. So I don't understand her talking about, oh, he left, da, da, da. Now, do I think he should have followed her around before, like, being like, I'm back? No, he should just be like, I'm back. But this man, like, literally had your back while you have a whole nother man. That he just, all he's doing is pressuring you into doing something you don't want to do. First of all, if you can't tell this man who you are, you shouldn't be with him in the first place. That's people's problem in relationships right there. One of them, at least. But anyway, so I am excited about the twist. I'm happy Enzo is back. Millie was being really, like, just stupid with Enzo. And I feel like this is the problem. People's pride be too heavy. Because you sitting here, this man is like, you know, I got you whatever I need. And even now, when she has, like, had so many different little things, like, she is sitting here like, oh, I don't need him. I can do this on my own. Clearly you can't, because you've already made mistakes. Mistakes you probably wouldn't have made if, like, he was helping you. Like in the past. So I am interested in the book. I can't wait to get through the rest of it. It makes me want to read the third one, because now I'm like, okay, how are you going to twist it up again? But I will say this. I know the third one, I think, is literally like the same amount of pages. Please don't have me going through the same thing, because that could definitely be a reason why I see, like, book 2 and book 3 looking or feeling like a drag. But definitely into it, and I'll check in later. Before I get back into this book, Wendy's ass needs to go to hell. Because how could you be such evil? You're talking about, oh, it's for the greater good. No, you're literally doing this because you want money. Like, you don't even care about this person who actually cares about you. All you want to do is change this person. But yeah, you're talking about, oh, it may seem like I'm a monster for what I did. Yeah, you a straight ass monster. That's it. No, y'all, the fact that this lady is really talking about how this man did her dirty, and she is literally just obsessed with his money. This is why people are crazy. People are insane. But what I've realized is that Millie got duped twice. After the first time, she shouldn't have been so big and bad that she could take care of herself. Because after I read it, I realized this is the second time this girl has been duped by somebody. Now, the first person was telling the truth, but they also tricked her. And now you're getting tricked again. I can't. I cannot deal with this. Like, oh my gosh. I can't. Because she getting on my nerves. Because she rah-rah too much. And this other girl, Wendy, is some work. Russell, I'm like, how can you talk? Like, you're willing to date some, like, this girl literally is willing to set somebody up who did nothing but try to help her. And her husband. And you don't think she's going to turn on you? I promise y'all, this thing keeps getting better and better. First of all, and let me just say, spoilers, because I'm talking mad crap right now. How could you not think that after this man has told you he caught you cheating, that he wasn't going to change his whip? Like, this is the thing with killers, and that's why I be like, they be so stupid. The first thing I would think you would check is to make sure you're actually still getting the money. Because now you committed a crime and you're getting nothing. When if you had just divorced the man, well, really, you still would have gotten nothing. Because you wouldn't have gotten anything because you cheated and he could prove it. But you definitely can't get that now because because he's already changed the will. So you're left with double nothing. Like 2 times you were getting nothing when you probably could have been like, hey, I know I cheated. Can I get a little bit of money? But no, your ass is greedy. You are greedy, and this is why greed does not pay people. It doesn't. I'm just loving this book for the sheer fact that this girl is dumb as hell. Wendy is dumb. I finished the book. I liked it. You can do dirty because you get it back to you in the end. I just don't like the fact that old girl played a hand in it. I was really mad at her, especially since she talk about how she don't trust Enzo. Girl. Now, she didn't do the dirt, but she planted the idea. So it's like, I just wish she had just gone and set her ass in the alley, like she said. But either way, I did like the book. 100 pages too long, but I did like it. I'm ready to read the third one. I enjoyed this better than The Locked Door, I will say, but I definitely think it's because that one has too many similarities to another book that I've read. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm going to read book 3. Let me go grab it now. All right, so I do have number 3. And why number 3 look bigger? Okay, they changed the way they wrote the words. I don't like that. Okay. You know how you get used to, like, seeing the words a certain way? And I feel like the words were different in 2 than in 3. But then I got used to it. So, I mean, eventually get used to it. But I'm like, why do I have to start this book in the same series and the words are different? Also, stop showing this daggone keyhole. Get creative. All right, she lives next door. She knows your secrets. The housemaid is watching. So, what are we going to do next? You flipped it, but old girl is still gullible because she got twice. Like, she got played twice, and it don't matter how, like, ruthless you are or how dangerous you claim you are, you still be getting played. So, let's see what happens in the third one. My past is far, far behind us, and I'll do anything to keep it that way. I used to clean other people's houses. Now I have one of my own. Okay, come up. The charming kitchen, the quiet cul-de-sac, the huge yard where my kids can play. Oh, she got kids, y'all. Kids, how you get kids? Because it's just been a year since the last book was written. Well, I guess in book world, it could be how many every years they want it to be, even if in the real world, it's only been one. But anyway, my husband and I worked so hard for this life. They're married. Oh. When our new neighbor invites us to dinner, a maid opens the door. Looking at her white apron and neat hair is like looking in the mirror. I know exactly what it's like to be in her shoes, but her cold stare gives me chills. That's not the only strange thing here. I'm sure I see a shadowy figure watching us. My husband leaves the house late at night. One woman's words chill me to the bone. Be careful of your neighbors. I thought I left my darkest secrets behind, but could this quiet street be the most dangerous place of all? Did y'all move in a fancy neighborhood? Because, doesn't have to be fancy for somebody to have a maid. So how far can one woman go to protect the life she's so carefully built for herself? The housemaid returns in this pulse-pounding roller coaster of a thriller from New York Times bestselling author Frieda McFadden. So let's get into it together. It's in multiple parts. To my family. Yeah, I don't like how these words are so different. And the pages are different. Like those pages were white and crisp. And the first ones were like that brownish, and these are brownish. But I think this changed it up on me. But anyway, prologue. There's blood everywhere. I've never seen so much blood. It's soaking the cream-colored rug, seeping into the nearby floorboards, speckling the legs of the oak coffee table. Perfect oval droplets have made it all the way to the seat of the pale leather sofa, and large rivulets drip down the alabaster wall. It's endless. If I look hard enough, will I find flecks of blood on the car in the garage, on the blades of grass in the lawn, in the supermarket across town. Even worse, it's all over my hands. What a mess. Despite the fact that I don't have much time, I am itching to clean it all up. When there's a stain, especially on the carpet, I was taught you're supposed to clean it quickly before it sets. Once it dries, the stain will become permanent. Unfortunately, no matter how hard I scrub, it won't do a thing for the dead body lying smack in the middle of the pool of blood. Okay, I feel like the person talking is not Millie, but I feel like it's this new maid. All right, so there's like another page in a little bit, so I'm just going to get into it. I am reading Housemaid, the third one. The Housemaid is watching. You know what? I don't think... Did I give you guys the reading of the back of this one? I don't think I actually did. I think I said I was going to start it. But I didn't read this one yesterday because I was reading a different book. I can't remember if I read the back of it, so I'm going to go ahead and read the back now. My past is far behind us, and I'll do anything to keep it that way. No, wait. I did read this. I did read the back of this. I think. Anyways, if I didn't, I'm sorry. But I am on page 75 right now. I probably will not finish this book by tomorrow. This book goes up. This video is supposed to go up tomorrow by noon. And I probably won't finish this one. But I'm going to read as much as I can. And then I'm going to pop in and tell you what I think. And then if I don't finish it, then I will, which like... Literally, I'm only on chapter 12. If I don't finish it, then I will, of course, tell you guys my thoughts about this one in the October book chat, which will come out Friday. But so far, 75 pages in, we're dragging. This one has less excitement, I feel like, than the last one. They moved in, meeting the neighbors. And besides, like, nosy neighbor, like... neighbor gossip, there isn't anything that makes me go ooh. Like the beginning, like all of the books start off with the action, so it starts off with what's going to be happening at the end, but so far it's just really them getting to know the neighbors and nothing that has really caught my fancy yet. So I'm just going to keep reading and see how far I can get, and then I'll check back in. Good morning, guys. I have not finished the book, which I didn't think I was going to finish because I literally was at page 75 when I checked in last time. I did make it to page 100. Right now, we're just getting the setup. The uneasiness, sounds, weird people in the neighborhood. We're not really getting to where I'm like, okay. But I kind of feel like after reading book 2 and how slow book 2 moved and how this book also... like, part 1 of this book is, like, 200 pages in, like, the second one. So I think that's just how it's going to go. We're not really going to get to the big aha moment. But I will say, overall, I am enjoying it. 2 books, 2 1/3 of a way through a book. I like the series. I think anybody who reads Housemaids, especially if you like... low stakes thrillers is what I kind of feel like this is. You'll enjoy this. I feel like the reason it feels fast paced isn't necessarily because the thrill is. I think in book 1, more so, it is more faster paced as far as the action and the thrill. But I think what makes these so fast and maybe and I will say other books, the other one was like this too, is the quick chapters. So if you want to try out a series, I definitely recommend it. You will get my full thoughts on book 3 on Friday when I do my October book wrap up. So yeah, I am enjoying the series. We didn't get through the whole thing, but I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. This is the last Vlogtober, Booktober video of the month. We're going to go to our older posting schedule 1-1 for November. See how I like that. As I said earlier, I'm thinking about adding more videos every month, but I don't know. I might stick to my 1 a month, but we're at least going to try it again for November and just see. I hope you guys enjoyed Vlogtober, Booktober. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Sarah. For those of you who are new, thanks for coming. Do all the things so you don't miss a video. For those who keep returning, y'all, I love y'all. For real. I really do. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one.